Welcome to CathyDSlaught's SRC4u Zoom call for March 21st, 2022. We're here on Cathy's website, CathyDSlaght.com. We're going to scroll down and look for the Zoom banner. Now, here is my disclaimer. This is for information, entertainment, and educational purposes only. If you'd like to be part of Cathy's SRC4u Daily Energy Clearing Group, all the information's there to register. We're going to click over here where when you sign up as a member of the SRC4u Daily Energy Clearing Group, you'll also be part of the Zoom calls, but in the background. The call will be live, so you may want to turn down the volume on your speakers.
It's interesting. Now, this we did want an SRC scan today, startup scan, and switchwords is switchword still in there? I can't remember now, but anyway, I may have that's quite a scan, and we'll have to see if switchwords come up. But I think we have all the tools. It's just a matter of sticking with things and holding, taking control of our own thought processes. There's a lot of
We are a miracle.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
And we're powerful.
If you read, and I'm not, haven't read all that I want to read, but it seems like it's really consistent that we are here to create heaven on earth. So if that's the case, let's get with it. I'm going to tell you again, I may be repeating myself. We again asked for the discarnate scan, and I don't know if anyone's ever heard of a woman by the name of Dorian Light, but she's a well-known in some circles energy worker. And I was talking to Dr. Kersey, and she shared with him she has never seen such spiritual attack. And I'm seeing that when I check with the scan for priority to do this little clearing, that it nearly always is. But remember, with time that will change, because what this is doing, I believe, is reminding our body how to do it, our subtle bodies how to do it, because we're not working on body, reminding our subtle bodies to do it ourselves. Now, there's some things, too, we may have to take more note of, like what we're eating and drinking, and our thoughts, obviously, and our environment, etc. It's not going to be just an easy thing, but it's doable. So anyway, that was interesting. We wanted the startup scan. I want to show you our greatest stressors at this point. Our diet, which we just said. Let's just see where we are with that. And of course, Mondays, I see a lot more of that kind of thing on Mondays. Let me see. Can you all see all this? Do I need to enlarge
Yes,
it?
again.
Okay, good. So let's see where we are with the balanced diet. Well, this code is going to give us a 93% benefit, and we're going all the way up to the 102, and then sufficient sleep. And again, some of us may think we're sleeping, but we're not sleeping restfully. So let's look at this.
Amen to that.
Okay, so see, we've got a little stress there at this moment in time, but we're taking it all the way up there. So let's let that be. This is an interesting one, satisfying intimate relationship. So we've been so isolated, and so many have been hurt in so many ways, and we may have blocked that off. Doesn't have to be necessarily a romantic relationship, but there has to be something.
Trusting relationship.
There you a what?
Trusting.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. Thank you. And again, let's look at all our numbers, all 102. Meaningful employment.
Are there very many on this group that are still working?
Yeah, I think I don't know about in this particular Zoom group, but in the energy group, yes, absolutely. And so that's something to look at that. See, that's a more chronic stress. And in this group, when people need a little extra energy, I text them, and then if they need a code to chant, etc. And it's very interesting to see how people the changes that occur, especially in those that maybe don't really believe in this, but they give it a shot just to see. So this meaningful employment, let's just see if we want to. And I've been thinking about seeing who wants to work together to start their own energy group, because I have a vision of energy groups around the globe. And I think we could really, it's not big money, but it's big satisfaction. And so we go here, we're going to take the sustenance balancer for meaningful employment. I am still kind of playing around with this. And let's just start with and all that stuff. And later I'm going to test and see if we want all that water, all that food, da 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 da. And because you'll see if a person has a real intense stress, a lot of times if you run it through this sustenance balancer a few times, you do see a shift. And again, etheric, not physical. And I know I did that real estate sales for many years, and a lot of it I just wasn't taking care of myself. And I thought I loved it, but I absolutely destroyed my health.
I'm going to put this out there as an idea. When we do the Wednesdays and the Fridays, the Power of Thoughts group, and you know how we listen to the music? What if we use the Wonder Click to where it'll probably run past the time of 10 minutes, but whoever we're working on, we could all, and this is just putting this out there, not saying to do this or not or whatever, but anyways, I bring up the SRC on the software, and everybody can see that I hit the Wonder Click and we let it run. But as it's running, we're also working on whoever the name is that's in the group at the same time.
I think that's a great idea.
Because it gives us more power. And remember, when we use the SRC, we all benefit. Because again, we're putting it out there. What we put out there, we get back.
So that's one of the true things they say. If you want to achieve something, help others, to give service. And let's now look. Here's another stress in our group: lack of oxygen. And look at that. Look at that. This. We need to learn more about this. Do more breathing. It might be interesting to look at some of the breathing exercises. Let's see.
Which one was that?
A lack of oxygen. So this is something we really want to check out. That's a big stress at this moment in time, and it's chronic. Let's see. Oops. Okay, sustenance balancer is not gonna. We're gonna probably have to take some action in the 3D world on this one. Shin isn't bad. That's a 65. This I did go ahead this morning and just put this generic code, clear all discarnates, in the Shin.
Kathy, when you do that, if it comes up with a high number, what program do you put that in?
I just like right now, 9 times this code is an 84% benefit, so I just go ahead and put it in our scan. I just put it in what we're going to work on.
Okay.
But this is an interesting one, and it's gives us some information as to looking in further to that chemical toxicity. Yeah, and we're taking it up to 100, but need to do a little bit more than just this. And look at that 0 with poor nutrition. So again, the codes and all are wonderful to balance some stress, but we're probably going to have to look very closely at our nutrition. And I'm surprised that hasn't come up yet. I guess I have to finish this brain stuff, and then we'll see the priority. But let's just look at this and see if we want the nutrient cocktail today. Just if we want it through the P4. No, that's not. Let's just try. I'm going to try one more thing. If you want it in the sustenance balancer. No, so we're going to have to probably look into that a little, not a little bit more, significantly more. And then in the scan, we also wanted this code for facilitating self-healing.
What do you mean by that? By ourselves?
Well, yeah, that we are all equipped to heal ourselves. It's one of our greatest gifts. And we just want to do whatever's necessary. See, we've got the 101 there, but we were a little bit low in resonance with it, is the way I interpret that. We forget. It's just like one of the triggers when we're trying to self-heal is we may need to stop talking about the problem because our words are so powerful, et cetera, et cetera. Just the more we can learn about all that, probably the better it is. And so anyway, that's basically, and then we wanted, out of all these things, we wanted a gym scan today. And this is the gym. And I have this list here for you, all these gyms that if you want to scan it for yourself, here is what this is for. And this might even have something to do with the oxygenation. And look at that, I'll be doggone, improve the process of oxygenation. That's funny. But this is just to show you how interesting these scans can be. That's why we look at the SRC and we don't realize everything you can do with it. And there was a code for this crystal that I personally had never heard of. So let's go and see how we are with it. All right, well, again, we're taking it up to the 101. Okay, so I did a few new cocktails over the weekend just because people seem to be so worried about their money and finances and fuel and food and all these things. And of course, the more we worry, apparently, the more we create it. Just a few thoughts. Let's see. Priority for G, Matthew 31, which reminds us that we can create everything we need. It can come to us. Will we take it? Well, we're not going to take it today. I want to see if you want any of these new cocktails today. Nope, don't need the Moses code. Now I have one. Okay, we'll take this enhancing manifestation. And it's not officially a cocktail yet because I want some feedback from you guys. Where are we? All right, the fundamental elements for creating everything you desire. Let's just see, because that's and again we got to get back into further brain balancing because that's our computer. But here's a few things. If any of you are working on manifesting, we have to be specific and clear about what we want. Don't be like my friend from years ago who affirmed she had a husband and got a married man. She got a husband. We have to be focused. That is one of the biggest deals. This here's a code: shielded from the distracting and confusing thought processes. Most of us know what we want to do, but we know how to do it and what to do, but life gets in the way. We want to stay simple, have an open mind. It may be that as we start to look at some of this stuff, we see it in a way that's not really to our benefit, and we have to be open to a few new thoughts. Sometimes you may have to just let it go and say whatever. If it's not my highest good, that's fine. Something I was taught years ago: he who cares least wins, which sounds kind of strange. Willingness.
Another thing that's interesting: as soon as you give a thought out to the universe for manifesting something, and you make it clear what you want, it's already on its way. But the interesting thing about it is that you can put a block to it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's happened to me several times in the past.
Mm-hmm. And all of us, you just are aware of it. I think we all do it. And we're going to look at some programming in a minute. It'll be interesting to see. And then willingness. Are we willing even to really accept what we're trying to get? It's vital to have this energy of happiness, which kind of involves joy of where you are at this moment in time. And that's vital. Expect miracles, awareness of deeper thoughts. Obviously, our cellular voltage, the higher the better. Be energetic, be positive. Positivity is my most powerful force, and then be positive. Bless negative thoughts. These blessings may be significant because whatever negative or whatever mistakes we've made, it's kind of brought us where we are, which now we can do, some significant things. Be honest. Part of that, for example, is to look at what we can do and can't do. For example, there's no way I'm going to manifest that I'm the next Miss America. And so we have to look at this stuff and say, all right, really and truly, let's be real. Attract what serves highest good, gratitude. So let's go up here. And since it is a group, let's put them all in, but then let's also scan. And if you go ahead and put that in there, then you can also, not have your Tesla 3-time process. And let's just see how we look. We're looking pretty good. Look at that. Only one. And that's the be honest. So I guess that applies to what is it that we can manifest? Is it real?
Good question.
It's a thought-provoking question. Then we're taking it up to the 100. But this group is strong. But then down here too, this was kind of a thought process down here. Do we want to clear any inner thoughts fixed on failure? And then I've been playing around. Do we want to clear, or is this a program? Do we want to deprogram, which can be worked with the yes therapy? So let's see. Would it be a good thing to clear inner thoughts fixed on failure? Okay, that's not a high priority. Do we want to deprogram them? And again, this group has been getting energy every day for years. We may have that balanced out, but let's just look. Well, look at that. Yeah, deprogram, 91% a good thing. So let's go into the yes therapy. I'm going to do a lot this week with the yes therapy, I think. And let's go in here to deprogram. Inner thoughts fixed on failure. Chances are we don't even know we have these. And Mary, I don't know if Mary's with us today or not, but she brought up a thought I hadn't, it didn't even dawn on me. Of course, we look for everybody to lead us, because the first 7 years of our life, when our computers are the most easily programmed, we've got authority figures in the form of our caretakers. So it stands to reason we're also programmed for always wanting someone else to take care of us. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, yes.
You know that, I hadn't really registered with me like it should have. Anyway, let's get down on just a few other things while we're at it to see if we want to clear, and then we'll see how this all comes together. This is a long gym list. I'll warn you ahead of time. Get up there. Well.
Yeah, I'm here today.
Oh, good. Thank you so much. I keep thinking about what you said about the, that is exactly right. We are so programmable. And that first 7 years, we've got to have caretakers. So we kind of are programmed to expect that the rest of our life. Makes a lot of sense. So anyways, here's another one. I thought we'd do a little bit more today in this, since we're talking, we're going to be getting into some of these issues. This one, I have to confess, took forever for me in the yes therapy. Ain't not a priority for the group, but how about deprogramming? Nope, we're good at this moment in time. This was an interesting one. Clear desire to be a prisoner. That sounds pretty creepy. But let's just see. Look at that, 97. Let's compare it to deprogram.
Man, I feel like you've tailored this to my day so far.
Oh, I'll tell you this. It's very, I was playing with this over the weekend. Okay, yeah, so it's actually, it's not programmed into us, but somehow, there we go. Well, I'm not going to do all of these now. We're just going to, get an awareness. Some of them I'll let a few finish first, but let's do this one since it's such a high priority. And just clear. That's pretty wild stuff. Now this ego, I know this group knows the difference between the ego and the soul, but the ego is the one that thinks everything's outside of us. They don't realize it's all one and that we that have God within. And so they're always looking to the outside, and that's where you get your fear of death. You get your competition. You think, you know, you've got to have all the material things. Nothing wrong necessarily with having them, unless you think it's key to your survival, which the ego can make you believe. Let's just see, do we want to clear any ego-related stress? Well, that's a 63. Do we want to deprogram it? And again, this is a group that already probably has done a lot of this work. This is the interesting thing, too, is that we do need to be doing the inner work. Okay, so see, we're good with that one right this moment in time. This might be the one I took so long on. Yeah, it's clear fear of change. This is the one I went forever personally. Let's see where we are as a group. 90. So, okay, let's see about deprogram. Okay, yeah, so again, I'm going to do that when these others finish. Yes, by it. Deprogram fears that have kept you from realizing the truth. Yeah, take that one. This split mind programming, by my understanding, is that battle between the ego and the soul, which already know the soul knows it already has it. Kind of on the line there. And this interesting, deprogram choice to perceive an illusory world. That's up there, so let's do. That gives us some things to think about. Let's check this third cocktail, and I'll send these out. But we don't know. This is blocks to manifestation. We're not asking for that one today. So let's go now. Remember, this main panel is going to take care of anything we've missed. But let's see. Plus, okay, so wonderful. I'll wait and let's see how we're doing. So this is when this comes to start again. Scroll down and see if it's gone up to the 100%. And okay, so there's our start. Let's see if we need to do it. And we do. We're just at a 98%. That is inner thoughts based on failure. We're deprogramming. And I do here. Oh dear. I don't know what that is. I think it's time for a new computer. I don't know what I did. I hope I didn't just delete my, oh good. Thought I just deleted my entire notes.
In the upper left.
You can manifest a new computer.
What?
Maybe you can manifest a new computer.
Well, they say that we shouldn't. That's exactly right. And we shouldn't even give it a thought. You know, if you need it, you can get it. Very interesting. And maybe I should. This is something we're not ever taught. If you look at the way we're educated, etc., very few of us are set up to do this, and yet we're here to do that, is my belief. So now we go in, we've got some stress related to family issues, life force, lymphatic, and look at that, deficient fatty acids. We know they say 99% of Americans are deficient in fatty acids, and fatty acids are more powerful, according to what I've read, than many of the antidepressants out there, because it's for the nervous system, among other things. Now we've got lymph. Let's just see where we are with that. No, not horrible, but let's just go ahead.
If you set your autosave on at the top left-hand corner of the document, it will periodically save that document.
I do that, yeah. It was saved. Believe me, I learned that one the hard way. Thank you.
It's set to off right now.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that. I save it manually. I don't know why it does that. Kind of turns itself off.
It's still not on.
Yeah, it turns itself off. So I don't know what that is. Now this gallbladder meridian stress a lot of times is referring to implants. Let's see, priority. Yeah, see again. Yeah. How do I turn on autosave? Well, what am I doing wrong here, Kevin?
That's where it wants to save it, is on OneDrive.
All right. Thank you. Mental issues, detoxify, aura system. Now this is all being processed here with our WonderClick. There's that parasite. That is one thing. I want to just check this. There's three things that we seem to really consistently ask for in the discarnate scan. One of them is for whatever I was reading to make that cocktail escapes me, but it talks about the discarnates in the form of parasites. And
energetic parasites.
Yep. And so what happens is we very often ask, and look at there, that's a 65. I like to go 70 over, but I did, and maybe Kevin and I can talk later today. I cleaned up that cocktail. I did that years ago, and I went back in and cleaned it up. It was kind of a mess, but it seems like it's a significant awareness we should have. Also, the other two we asked for, which anybody have any thoughts on this or have any reading they've done, etc. The other is the gender dysphoria, which we continually ask for, and that code. And then the something in reference to the oscillation of the planet, that something is trying to interfere with that. And the oscillation that deals with radio waves, etc. So I'm going to see what I can learn this week. And if anybody has any knowledge, please share it. There's the lungs. Let's look at this.
I'll send out a couple of links with regards to suspicious observer and how the Earth is, the North Pole is headed to Siberia.
Well, okay, again, the WonderClick is all we need for this. Let's just douse in a little synchronization, and then I guess well, that is what you will notice. The more you clear this stress, is that the coincidences. Are you guys seeing that?
Yeah, what is that?
Synchronization. You want it all to come together.
I am seeing
Oh, yeah.
a lot of that, Cathy.
Yes. Oh, yes. Glad to hear. Glad you're here, Karen. It is amazing, and that's where you start. And again, this stuff doesn't start right away. In my book, anyway. Maybe it does for some, but it takes consistent work. And with time, when you're doing this kind of work, doesn't have to be SRC. It can be prayer. It can be many things. You start to see that just when it's appropriate, something appears in your life. I've gotten to where I don't ignore a coincidence like I used to. All right, so we've got, we're working on our nerves. Imagine that. Let's see if we want to balance nervous system with a charger. How about by the yes therapy? See, so the wonder click, that's telling us, it's giving us the awareness, and it's balancing that stress. There's that thymus. We took a lot of energy over the weekend for the thymus. Just with thymus vitality.
Dopamine helps too.
Oh, it really does, yeah. There's the kidneys. Pretty interesting and good. Life force, challenging, aroused, stress factor, glands. Let's just look, balance glands, recharger. Okay, so again, it's being balanced out. Don't need to necessarily words to ponder. If you disassembled the Great Pyramid of whatever that Cheops, you would get enough stones to encode the earth with a brick and wall 20 inches high. This pyramid stuff is interesting too. I found a new code this week, pyramid power. I don't know much about that. Our mind, grief-based. So let's just.
I had come across a video where it talks about these structures and how they pull in energy, and I meant to send it out to the group. Anyways, I'm going backwards trying to find it because it was the most fascinating thing I had ever listened to.
Yeah, find it. We'd like to see that. And let's see what we confident, subconscious, remorseful.
The energy in them is very powerful.
Yeah, and we want to have an awareness, and it might not even, I don't know, I'm just saying sometimes a little remorse takes a person out of a few narcissistic traits, but we sure don't want to dwell on it. This is a key, though, for the narcissist is they don't feel this type of thing. So it's a mixed blessing. Tenseness.
What was that one, Kat?
Tenseness. Being tense.
I understand.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. It's not. I'm going to have to put negative thing. So the ego is looking at withdrawal, our resistance factor. This is another thing. I'm going to have to go into some maybe that encyclopedia thing in reference and see what this is telling us. Our overall support is what I'm thinking. Okay, so that gives us some thoughts for today. Let me go in here. Probably do a little bit more in reference to bones. Let's see what we're going to take. Okay. So you're at a 99, desire to, we want that up to 100. There's a 99 on inner thoughts base, and this could take, many clicks, but it's a lot of fun. And this yes therapy is powerful. It's also powerful in the 3D world. Let's look at for example, I have some stress from family issues. Yes. Can you help me clear these issues? Yes. Will you help me clear these issues? Yes. Please help me clear these issues. Yes. Thank you. You can do that with your own verbiage, which may even be more powerful than what we're doing with the SRC. And I have seen with people I work with phenomenal results, and especially for manifestation. So, for example, I could do the computer thing with the yes. What's that?
I never thought of it that way for manifestation.
Yeah. When I first heard of Grandmaster David, that's what I heard about was he was doing the yes therapy, and I wasn't impressed. It didn't sound like, oh boy. However, when I learned it really works, then it's like, whoa. And so this is something you can do during the day while you're in alpha and a lot of your activities in the day, or driving or walking, and give it a try. Take some of these things if they apply. How about that one? Burn fat. Mental issues. Yeah, let's just look at that. That did come up while we're waiting for the Pro Tools. And that could be just some of our thoughts at this time with the stress in the world.
Oh, and here's some highlights. BlackRock is in financial turmoil, which is a good thing.
Of course, we want to bless BlackRock. That is, that's an interesting concept. Okay, look, we don't look at that. Stress related to mental issues, just a 1. Okay, so this is what we'll be, oh my goodness, doing in reference to the bones. And so I'll do that as the day progresses. Let's just check real quickly the emotions panel because we'll get some information. Some quick information. Unrelated stress. Okay, so stress related to psychic attack and our second chakra. And the psychic attack chances are real good as us, our own thoughts, as we know. So that's it. Anything to add? Anything I'm forgetting?
You covered just about everything, I'm sure.
Well, we'll get back. We got to get back to the literal brain and continue with that. But that's it for today.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Cathy. That
Thanks
was
a lot,
great.
you guys. Have a good
Wonderful.
day.
Have a
Have
good
a
day.
great day.
This concludes the SRC4u Zoom call. Thank you for participating. We look forward to seeing you again. Till then, take care and be well. My YouTube disclaimer, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only.